Okay, so we picked up another builder saw here in the mail. This one here is pretty complete. Just need the angular bushing, couple nuts and bolts. We'll dig through it. I got some car covers and whatnot in the mail, a bunch of parts, angular bushings, needle bearings for the clutch, dogs, all kinds of accessories. So this one here, she looked, oh, what's this doing here? Oh, okay. This one here won't be that bad to do. You can see that bushing's out of there. I don't know if this is going to need a new handle or not. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know if that's broken off. I'll have to tear into it and see, but this is actually the original handle for this saw. So we'll see. I mean, it's not going to be as pretty. But I got a couple more guys that want these for work saws. You know, these 044s, the way I got them set up, with either the Unifilter or Max Flow, which I have coming in the mail for this saw back here. That one's going to get a Max Flow on it. They really perform well with the cylinder, the 10 millimeter K&S cylinder. They really do perform well. I mean, I'm not saying that they're gonna beat up on a stock saw, but I think they would give some guys fits. Some of their ported saws, 70 C class saws, you know. Now, of course, if you ported one of these, flow ported it, with a Max Flow or a Uni or a K&N. Flow ported it, did some work to the carb, and did a little bit of work to the exhaust. Like this here, I've got that nice Bush King exhaust on there. I don't know if you can see it. I'll zoom in. Yeah, I don't know if you can see that big old pipe sticking out of there. I could chop that back if I want to pick up a little more RPM, but she's nasty with that on there, man. You know, with a Max Flow, this pipe and the carb tuned and the sharp chain, I mean, they rip. I mean, you know, don't get me wrong. I'm not against porting at all. I think, you know, but I think porting is just part of the package. I mean, if you were to just take one of these saws and port them and not do intake and carb work and exhaust work, they would probably run better, but you're not going to pick up the gains. Whereas on this saw here, you're probably going to end up with, well, I would say with a Max Flow, flow porting, and the Bush King exhaust, I would say that you're going to end up with 35% faster than a stock one. That's just my opinion. You know, we'll see. I mean, I'm already up to, well, the stock one was 40 seconds. With the Bush King and the Uni filter, the intake, I think I'm down to about 31 seconds. So right there, that's 9 seconds. I don't know, that's... And I haven't even done anything to the cylinder. Now, you got to remember, though, I mean, that's not every saw. That's this 044 with the K&S 10 millimeter slant fin cylinder. If you put another cylinder on there, oh, I got that over in the other thing. I'll show you. If you put this cylinder on there, you know, you might not realize the same gains. This is a steel cylinder. Good cylinder, but I'm just saying it's not. They just don't run like these. If you're going to buy one of these and mess around, 10 millimeter K&S, that's what you want. You're going to pay more. I mean, there's a guy on eBay. He's got a cylinder for $175 but no piston. You know, I mean, that's To me, that's a little high, but that's what he wants. But anyways, I'll be goofing around with this today. This will bring this up to number 6. Like I said, I had a couple guys. They want a few of these. I got a spot in the yard where we can cut. And they ran them and they says, yeah, I want one. So that's kind of cool. I get the experience of playing around with them. Enjoyment of building them. And then, you know, friends of mine that I cut with, whatnot, they're going to get themselves a hell of a saw. I mean, the one guy was actually, he was coming from a MS 291, which is a decent saw, don't get me wrong, but, you know, he couldn't believe it. He says, man, this thing isn't really that much bigger. He goes, man, this thing's got balls. I mean, I think he was actually a little scared of it, to be honest with you. And I told him, I says, go ahead, dog in, you know. And he liked it and he wants one, so that's what it's all about, folks. So it's a snowy cold day in Western New York, and I'm gonna carry on. Hopefully, I can get a couple more of these running and built, and we'll see how it goes. I might pick up a few more builder cases. I mean, now that I built these, I pretty much have the whole saw in my mind's eye. I can almost take it all apart in my head and put it back together. And I suppose after you spend a few hours, that's how you get. But these are definitely worthy saws. I know a lot of guys say that, well, you know, I can't justify putting the money into them, blah 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 blah. And I get it. I mean, if you were to buy cases and all original parts, I wouldn't doubt that this saw, if you wanted to buy every single piece from the cases, the dowel pins, the gaskets, the seals, the bearings, the crankshaft, then the piston, base gasket, piston, ring, circlip, cylinder, cover, chain brake, you know, every part. It would probably cost you $3,000 to buy every one of these pieces. I remember when I was a kid, back when we were ripping on them dirt bikes, they had, in Dirt Bike magazine, they had something where I think the bikes back then were going for like $34.99, $35.99, something like that. And somebody actually went piece by piece by piece. If you were to try and just order the parts and completely build a bike from scratch, and it was something like, I don't know, $20,000 or something like that. Something ridiculous. So, all right, folks. Beep.